Algebra 1, Unit 5, Retake Review. This is for the test over linear systems of equations. All right, so we're going to look at the first one. Find the solution to the system below. And let's not forget, a solution is going to be a point x, y. All right, now this particular problem, now you can do it any way you want. However, I would strongly recommend, since you've got y equals and y equals, that you graph this in your calculator. All right, so we're going to go to y equals. We're going to type that in. We're going to type in x minus 3. And our next one, which is 7x plus 3. And I always like to look at the graph first. So let's press the graph button. We can kind of eyeball it. Okay, the intersection looks right here, which appears to be -1, -4. To double check, to make sure you get credit for this problem, y'all, all you got to do is check the table. Second graph, right, we're going to the table and we're looking at, okay, -1, yep, that's my answer, -1, -4, right, because the y columns are the same, right, -1, -4 is where the two lines cross. Okay. Problem 2. Problem 2, solve the following system using any method. Remember, graphing, substitution, or elimination. This problem, I think, is best set up using substitution because I've got a y equals and then not a y equals, right? We got them kind of mixed up here. So really pay attention to how I'm going to set this up. I'm going to take this 4x plus 2y equals 10, and I'm going to take my equation that says y equals, and I'm going to plug it in, right? Y is equal to x minus 13. So instead of writing y, I get to write x minus 13. Everything else stays the same, right? I've still got my 4x plus 2y. Let me put this in red so we can really see what's happening here. All right, I've still got my 4x plus 2y, right? We're not writing the letter y, we're writing x minus 13. This is equal to 10, right? We have done this substitution here. And this allows us to now quickly solve. So we've got 4x plus 2x minus 26 is equal to 10. Combine your like terms. We've got 6x minus 26 is equal to 10. And now we can add 26 to both sides. And I've got 6x equals 36. Divide out that 6, and I'm left with x is equal to 6. All right, nice and easy. We've got the x value is 6, but now we just need to find y. All right, always got to plug in that second variable when we're solving here. So take one of these equations. I think this one is definitely the easiest one in this case. We've got y equals x minus 13. So y equals what minus 13? We're not writing x because we know that x is actually 6, right? And 6 minus 13 we know is just -7. So our y value here is -7. All right. Problem number 3. Now it tells you to use elimination here. Honestly, that's because any other method is going to be a lot more difficult. This is definitely set up to use elimination. And it's best case scenario here, guys. We've got something that will eliminate, right? Look at these x's. When I add these two equations together, 16x plus -16x is 0. Those have been eliminated. But now keep going. -12y plus 7y is -5y. -40 plus 30 is -10. Takes 2 seconds now to solve. Divide out that -5, and we've got y is equal to 2. All right. Don't put this in the wrong spot, you guys. It's y is 2, so it goes here. All right, now we got to find x. Plug it in anywhere you like. I'm gonna plug it into the top. Here we go. 16x plus minus 12y is equal to -40. Okay, but now I know that y is actually 2. So this y value right here, I'm going to use a 2 for it. Everything else stays the same. So I've got 16x minus 12 times 2 is equal to -40. And now just go ahead and solve this thing. We've got 16x minus 24 equals -40. We're going to add 24 to both sides. And we get 16x is equal to -16. All right, should we double check that just in case? Got negative 40 plus 24. Yep, negative 16. Divide by 16. And we've got x is equal to negative 1. And we're done. All right. Yes, on the retest, you will be required to solve 3 systems by hand, just like this. So if you did not do this by yourself yet, I would pause the video, I would rewind, I would get a piece of scratch paper, and I would do them by myself. Okay, before you come in and retest, you guys. I cannot stress that enough. Problem 4, if you know what you're looking for, it's almost like a free answer, right? What is the solution? Well, the solution is a point where the lines are crossing. Just a random example here, guys. They will only cross once. They will only have 1 point in common. So look at the tables. Do they have a point in common? Yeah, they do. Look, 3, negative 8 appears in both tables. That's your answer. Don't overthink it, right? If they share a point, they will only share 1 point. That's your answer. Has to be identical. 3, negative 8, 3, negative 8. All right. Problems 5, 6, and 7, we are not solving. We are just writing systems. Okay, we are not solving, we are just writing systems. Now I'm looking at the first 2. Let's look at problem 5 here. And we're dealing with money. If you recall in class, we often ask ourselves 2 questions when we're dealing with these money systems. And that is how many and how much. All right, take a second to break it down like this because it helps a ton. All right, here we go. Now, when you do a problem like number 5, let's see, Tammy has 11 coins, so this is a coin problem, and her piggy bank totaling $1.85. Okay, well that's money, so that's how much. That's going to be equal to $1.85. She only has nickels and quarters in her bank. You definitely have to remember that nickels is 0.05 and quarters is 0.25. All right. Write a system of equations that can be used to find the number of nickels n and the number of quarters q. Well, you guys, you have to remember the coin amounts because they go in my how much equation, right? They're my money amounts. $1.85 is money, 5 cents is money, 25 cents is money. Here's what this looks like. We say 0.05 n for nickels plus 0.25 q for quarters is equal to $1.85. All right. Now the only other number we haven't used is this 11 equals 11. So we have 11 coins total. So I can't just put coins, right, is equal to 11. No, we've got nickels and we've got quarters. So we say nickels plus quarters is equal to 11. How many? How much? All right, problem 6 is very similar. Here we go. We've got a money problem. So we're going to say how many and how much. Takes me about 20 seconds to write this out, but it's so helpful. All right, 500 tickets were sold for a Justin Bieber concert. Adult tickets were $7.50 and child tickets were $4. Ticket sales for the concert totaled to $3,312.50. Write a system of equations that can be used to find the number of adult tickets A and child tickets C. If you guys will read that last sentence on the retest, it'll tell you what variables to use, which I think makes it a little bit easier. All right, I'd like to start with the how much equation first. It's just easier to me. So how much? I'm dealing with money. I got this much money, the total. Okay. I've also got this $7.50 and this $4. So those all need to go in the same equation. And now we just need to figure out our variables. Well, the adult tickets are $7.50, so the $7.50 goes with A. The child tickets were $4, so the 4 goes with C. Okay, that's it. $7.50 for adults, $4 for children, total amount of money. Remember, guys, money, money, money. Those should all go in the same equation. All we need to know now is how many tickets total. Well, they told us that 500 tickets were sold. So we're going to say equals 500. What equals 500? Adult tickets and child tickets for 500 tickets total. How many? How much? Okay, the last system we're going to write has to deal with perimeter of a rectangle. The perimeter of a rectangle is 2w plus 2l. You definitely should know this. So if it tells us the perimeter is 34 inches, we have an equation right there. 2w plus 2l equals 34. Okay? Now remember, you don't see the 2w plus 2l. You're the one who has to come up with that on the retest. All right. Second equation here. Let's go. If the length is, okay, stop. You just read the length is. So you should write down L equals. If you get this word is, you're so happy. It's your best friend. It makes your life a billion times easier because you know how to set up the second equation. The length is L equals. All right, 2 inches more than what? Oh, more than twice the width. Remember, y'all, the phrase more than is what we call a switch phrase. It's very important. We're actually doing this right now in inequalities. So 2 inches more than something. So I'm going to write something plus 2, right? We switch what we read. Twice the width. So 2 more than twice the width. So 2w plus 2. All right, that's it. So for 3 of these, we just wrote systems. We did not solve them. 8 is really simple. Sketch a system that has no solutions. Okay, well, that just means the lines are parallel. Done. Well, x-axis, right? So my 2 lines here are parallel lines. They're not going to cross. That's going to have no solutions. 10. Find the solution to the system of equations pictured below. All right, well, it's where they cross. So that point right there is over 10, up 20, and that's it. Okay. Question number 10. Which company from the previous graph would you use if you were going to talk for 20 minutes? Okay, so 20 minutes is right here. So it looks like the cheapest is this first one I hit, which is company Z, right? This first one here, this line, started more expensive, but at 20 minutes, it's less expensive. So I'm going to say company Z. It is cheaper at 20 minutes. In fact, it's cheaper for any point after the solution, right? Any time after 10 minutes, company Z is cheaper. All right. Now remember, you guys, if you still have questions after this review, make sure you ask me or your teacher about them. If you want a blank copy of this review to practice by yourself right now, that's also a great idea. Once you take the retake, though, you need to be ready to do all these by yourself, right? No multiple choice. All right. Good luck.